Hello, Jana.
Hi, Marianne. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good. All is good. Are you?
How's the weather in Cairo?
It could be worse, but it's not. It's actually not too bad. It's a bit warmer, but not so hot that it's unbearable yet. I mean, it's fine. Like I've been able to, like this past week, I've been able to go swimming, kind of be outside. So it's
Oh,
okay.
that's great.
Yeah, yeah, not too bad. Hi, Amel. How's Switzerland? How's the weather there?
It's hot. It's
Hot.
we
Really?
have
Hi.
we have around 36 degrees, and it feels like 38, 39. And
Okay.
the problem is the houses are not
Mm,
um, adjusted to have ACs.
yes.
So it's hot unless we go to a shopping center or the
Yes.
airport or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So it
But
actually feels a lot worse than 36 or 38.
yes,
Yes.
but Alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
we have the mountains.
That's true. That's true. You can always escape to the mountains.
Yes.
Hi, Amel. How are
Hi,
you?
Dana. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
Hi, Rania. Hi, Sandra. Hi,
Hi.
Nirvana. Hi, ladies. All right. Amel,
Affandum.
you want to tell
Yes.
us about your big experience? Was it your first time?
Yes.
We call you a
First-
Hagga now?
It's different. It's completely different. It's magical, actually.
Yeah.
I did four umras, so it's
Oh,
nothing new
okay.
for me, but
Okay.
it's not comparable at all.
Okay.
It's a completely different experience. The spirituality, the whole thing puts you in another life and another
Yeah.
feeling, and it's
Yeah.
so different.
Oh,
Yes. So
amazing.
and I mean, you feel that it's really a reset, that I came back is like, okay,
Mm.
what's going on? Where do I restart?
Right. Yeah. 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 I hear
So
that a lot. Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
beautiful.
different. It's different.
That's beautiful.
Yes, thank
عقبال
you.
everybody. عقبال
Yeah, اللي
everybody who wants
نفسه
to go
عقبال
to
اللي نفسه يا رب.
everybody who wants to go to Jerusalem, everybody who wants to go
Oh,
to
yes,
Mecca, you know,
the
every
Holy Land.
the Holy Land. Yes,
It
anywhere.
is holy. You feel the holiness there.
Yeah.
It's subhanallah.
All right, ladies. So today's our second to last session, and next session we are talking about a book. So I wanted to take this session as an opportunity for us to track progress, and more specifically, since this is, our last module was about discovering, getting interested in, getting curious about your passions and what brings you joy. I wanted to sort of connect the dots today for you because we don't just get to a place of thinking about our passions and thinking about joy when we have a lot of baggage, that we have to carry around. And I chose very specific primary foods, like your home environment, relationships, spirituality, health and movement, because those are all key sort of parts of the puzzle that unless you are taking a good look at them and unless you are shaking up that foundation every once in a while and sort of uprooting it and creating different roots and new roots, planting new roots, you really can't be in a physical or mental space in your head. You don't have the bandwidth to even begin to think about what could bring you joy and what could possibly be a passion for you. I mean, very simply, if you just think about decluttering your house, which is one of the first things we did, if your house is always a mess, how will you have extra space? It's almost like a luxury for you to think of joy when everything's always messy around you because it depletes your energy. Having clutter and having old things is a dead energy in your home. It takes away your energy because you can't really function when things aren't running smoothly. In your relationships, probably one of the most primary foods for women, especially, it's not that we wanted to get your relationships to, I mean, obviously if you found a way to optimize them using the exercises, that's great, but at least can you find a way where the relationships aren't depleting? Can you find a way where your relationships are at the most basic level mutually supportive? And are you showing up in your relationships also and not being a depleting force in your relationship? Then, of course, we did spirituality. And of course, Amal can tell you, and anybody who's been on a major spiritual journey can tell you what that can do for sparking joy. And then, of course, we did health, because you might have dreams of what joy should feel like for you, or dreams of pursuing a passion. But at the most basic level, if your body is sick and tired and exhausted and in pain and potentially on medication, you literally can't. Your physical body is going to hold you back. And then the last thing we did was movement, because movement, it literally creates your happy hormones that can help you without doing anything on a daily basis, give you a little edge, a little push where you can feel what it feels like to feel really good. So all of these, whether you were aware of it or not, these were little tiny sort of dots that we connected, steps that we took so that you can get to this last place where you can either easily figure out what brings you joy and what you're passionate about, or if it still doesn't come easily, if there's still resistance around it, if there's still confusion around it, at least if you've done even the most minimal work in the past 6 months, you are much better prepared to approach this subject of joy and passion, because you have eliminated to some extent some of the obstacles that can be in your way. So what I want you to think about today, I'm going to post 3 questions for you, and I'll give you as much time as you need to think about them, and then we'll share our answers together. So I'll just going to copy paste them here, and I'll post them in the chat. You might want to write these down, your answers. Okay, there we go. Take your time with these. There's definitely no right and no wrong answer. Every single one of you has a completely unique and different path. Not every single one of you completed each module in the same way as everybody else, or in the same order as everybody else, and that's perfectly okay. Some of you were more connected to some modules more than others. Some of you were more invested in the reading than in the modules more than others. Some of you did it all in order, exactly as laid out. And the point wasn't, as I always kept reminding you every single week, the point is not perfection, but the point was progress. And the point was to tap into, what do you really feel would serve you best each week? Did it serve you exactly the way that it was presented? Did you need to sort of jump back and forth between modules, skip things, come back to them as you need them? Did some modules need a lot more of your attention and time, while others were very easy? You were able to just sort of apply and move on? None of the ways that any of you approached the work is wrong or right. It's very, very unique to you. So approach these questions from your perspective, from how you approach the work, from what you took from each module, not what you think you need to be saying to answer these questions, right? If all you did was 1 or 2 modules, then you think about those and you see how those were your stepping stones to joy or passion. Potentially none of them were. So I want you to be as honest and as uncensored as you can be, because this is feedback for yourself at the end of the day. How did this happen? And then moving forward from this, you can take the information and whatever insights come up for you while you answer these questions, to see how then maybe you can go back and re-implement, because everything we did is a work in progress. There isn't a single module in this program that's like, once you do it, it's done, it's over. You never go back and revisit that part of your life. You will always be revisiting health. You will always be revisiting how you move. You'll always be revisiting your relationships, because they're fluid and they're dynamic. They're not static. So there's so many parts that will require you, whether you do it in the context of a structured program where you actually come back and look at the modules, or you're just doing it sort of organically in your life, you are continuously and constantly looking at these areas in your life. So think about where you were in January versus where you are now as you formulate your answers for these. And I'll give you, if you guys need half an hour minimum to answer. As soon as you're done, put your hand up. So then if we don't need the full half hour, then I can know we can start sharing answers. All right.
Time out.
Ladies, we'll do 5 more minutes, okay? Those of you who joined a little bit late, you can take some more time while the ladies who are already finished are sharing their answers. So 5 more minutes, all right? All right, ladies, let's finalize your thoughts. And who would like to start by sharing their answers? if you're ready to start, just unmute yourself and start speaking.
Hi, start. I'll start.
Great.
There was not one specific module that I felt helped me the most. I found that there's bits and pieces of each module. Health is always one. It makes me I'm more focused and I'm clear in my thoughts, and so that really helps a lot. The family dinners in relationship, the model with the relationships, I realized doing that module that because my husband's away and my kids are, everyone's working, we're together, but we never actually sit and have a family meal together. So that was a big shift for me. Making it a priority and setting up the table and putting our best china for that dinner, not just anything.
Yeah.
So that was something big for me. And movement, the walking was a big discovery for me. It helped me a lot. So that was the first question. The second question, the evidence that I've seen is that I listen more to my body. I'm much more kinder to my body. I realize that things that worked for me before, it's okay that it's not working for me now. So I'm not pushing myself in a good way. I'm not insisting that I go and I keep, feeling guilty that it's not working and stuff. So just listening to my body more. And today was an example. I had a lot that I wanted to do, but I was just so physical. I just wanted to sleep, and I left everything and I just went in bed. I loved it. I felt better, and just listening. I think that was a big thing for me, because I keep pushing myself, especially physically. And I'm also able to let everyone just be them. I'm listening more and not forcing, but not pushing my ideas in everyone's direction. I'm just listening more, and just if they want something, they can, then ask for it. But I'm not pushing myself. Compared to the third question, is compared to how I was in module 1, or month 1. I feel I'm more in tune with my body. I'm more aware when I'm in my masculine energy, and I see it. I never realized it, but now I see it. I breathe and I move back into my feminine energy, which wasn't easy at the beginning, but now I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Everyone can, handle things, because I tend to be, I realize that I tend to be in my masculine energy a lot. I'm also, I found the module, I think, listening to the last call you had, that a lot of us were struggling with the joy model, and I was one of them. And even though after going through it, I found that I'm very curious, and that's what I learned. That's how I am now, that I'm more curious to find joy in my day. Looking for it. I'm looking for it. I'm sure it's there, so I'm looking for it. And when I find it and realize it, I because you said about how I would feel in my body, I feel it in my body. I'm like, yeah, this is okay. This is a moment, and I hold on to it. And I'm great. Besides finding joy during my day, I'm also looking for things to be grateful for in my day. So that's me.
Wow. I mean, so this is incredible to hear how you felt these shifts since January, basically how you've grown. So do you think, the you from month 1 would recognize the you from month 6?
I've changed a lot. I'm more relaxed. Just, I'm more mellow.
Yeah. More
Yeah.
more in your feminine, more in your feminine energy. Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. Does anybody have anything to comment about what Rania just shared?
I loved when she said, hi ladies, hi Dana.
Hi,
I loved when she
Mm.
said that now she's more in tune of her feminine energy.
Mhm.
Yeah, because this is how I feel as well, because I was always in my masculine energy and sometimes I stop as well. So I related to this. So yeah.
Thank you.
We've all more or less been more programmed to be in our masculine energy. It's actually quite challenging to come out of that programming.
Mm.
So even if you're able to make a small shift, very small shift, but something a little consistent, this is a sign that you're starting to come out of that. It doesn't have to be this huge breakthrough. It's just small, meaningful shifts, like the dinners that you have with your family, right? Small things that feel more like you, feel more in alignment than when you are forcing things. Small things. Thank you, Rania. Delia, would you like to go next?
Yes, thank you. So I loved understanding the feminine energy in general, okay, and how it's cyclic and allowing being aware of this made a huge difference in me understanding myself and why sometimes things happen and why I'm feeling down now, but after a while I will change again. So I loved understanding the feminine energy. I loved all the modules, but spirituality was one of my favorites, and especially that it was with Ramadan.
Yeah.
So it was the first time when I was reading Quran. It was not like I wanted to read it and just finish it. I was reading it and enjoying it and slowing down and trying to understand what I can. I felt I'm connected to God, to others. It made me feel more. I love this module. Also in relationships, I felt I loved talking about the relationship to self. I gave myself more space for mistakes, more flexibility in general, and in schedule and to-do list. So the relationship with self was a good one for me. I also slowed down and I sat down more with myself, which was something I didn't do. So journal more, read more. The movement, I love I always walk, but I love the suggestion of going on a walk with flowing clothes. So now I go with dresses, skirts, I, and health. Also, this one was also a really good one for me. About signs and evidence. Okay, so I had family over. They stayed for 3 weeks, and to be honest, I was a bit worried that I would throw all my routine out of the window once they're here. But I was sticking to my routine, and yes, there were a few days here and there that I didn't eat as healthy as I wanted. But overall, it was like 4 or 5 days from 3 weeks. So I was really happy about that, and I kept everything, all my routine. I went to the gym. I did everything I used to do. So that was a huge win for me, and I lost a lot of weight. I became more flexible and still trying not to control everything. I let go of the idea of all or none. So this is what happened when I ate like for a day. I ate pizza, donuts, and cakes in the same day. But then the second day, it's okay. It's not that I have to start all over again. It's fine. I can do it. And I'm trying not to try to be perfect in everything, which is hard, but I'm trying. The last question, the inner shifts. I feel more compassionate to myself, more connected. And actually, when I was journaling about joy, um, I think the most thing that brings joy to me is connection to myself through self-care, connection to God, connection to others through relationships or deep conversations. I think connection is a big one for me. Um, I feel also in the inner shifts, I understand more about myself and my feminine energy and the external habits, consistency. I'm going to the gym consistently now. I'm eating healthy. I'm doing the face yoga and self-care. I'm reading, not as much as I would like to, but I'm still doing it. Because I haven't finished The Pride and the Prejudice, but I started. I saw Ramallah. I've tried. I think I have like I'm reading 3 books at the same time now, but it's okay. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Which of these shifts or changes surprised you the most?
I would say the spirituality,
Why?
because I thought I was okay. I was like doing the what should be done, but I didn't slow down and listen. And I, I didn't want. I really needed it, and it was just perfect timing for me. And I'm still carrying it with me. So it's not just Ramadan. So I'm trying to keep doing what made me feel the joy, even if it's not. I'm not reading Quran now or anything, but I'm still slowing down. You remember when you said about when praying, maybe slow down and just wait for a second to listen. Also, spirituality for me is like thinking about others.
Yeah.
I apologize, ladies. I want to suggest something that's not ideal, but I had this issue with a Zoom call yesterday. If we all turn off our cameras, I don't like that. I would rather see you as much as possible, but turning off our cameras will hopefully get rid of this glitching problem. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry, Delia. Can you please finish where you left off?
Sorry, I can't remember. No,
I was talking about when you're praying and stopping and so that you can listen.
Yeah, so it's just the connection, the connection to the whole universe, to that we're all connected.
Yes, yes. Beautiful. Would anybody like to comment on Delia's share? And Delia, would the you from month one recognize the you speaking now?
To be honest, there is a lot of change, and I'm really happy about it. I was a bit skeptical. Do I have time to do this? But now, definitely, even if I wasn't like strictly following everything,
Right.
no, there is a huge difference. It was small steps, but now it's 6 months.
Yes.
I see a huge difference.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that she gave herself, she's become more flexible with herself. And then I love that she stuck to her routine, even though she had family around, because there's always, I feel that there's always someone coming in and out of our lives. So if we need to stick to our routine to be able to just to be okay.
Yeah.
So especially if they're coming for a long period of time. So I loved that she did that.
I think for those of you who are expats, especially, you have what I've noticed is there's a consistent pattern of, visitors or you traveling. So once you like, as soon as you sort of start to get into, really being in your rhythm of your health and really being on top of it, either somebody visits you or you have to come back to Cairo or go somewhere, and it jars sort of your process. So it only takes you, breaking that pattern once. So either with family visiting or you coming back to Cairo or traveling and not giving in to the pattern that was always there. All it takes is once. And from then on, you'll be able to maintain this no matter what the change in routine that comes at you. And this applies to everybody. I mean, everybody has something that kind of comes in and interrupts their routine. And it just takes one time for you to say, right, I'm going to remain disciplined this one time. It doesn't have to be 100% disciplined like Delia showed us. But it also, what we usually tend to do is go the other way completely, is just completely give in and say, well, it's a lost case. Everybody's here, or I'm traveling. What's the point? So we tend to sort of do a massive pendulum swing. If we can just hold that pendulum at least in the middle, you'll see that with each time you are presented with a potential pattern interrupt to what you're doing, it becomes easier and easier to stick to your routine and in a way that serves you. Who would
I'm
like
just worried.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just worried about Egypt because going to Egypt is totally different, but I will try.
See, if I think about it, so if there's ways to preempt this, right? You've done this enough times. You've come back to Egypt enough times that you know more or less exactly what's going to happen. So none of it is going to be a surprise. It's not like you have to figure something out in the moment on the spot. You've done it before. You've done the travel, you've done the arrival day, you've done people coming to see you, you've done the outings, you've done the friends, you've done the visits, you've done maybe Sahel or going somewhere in Egypt. You've done it all. You have a blueprint. So what part of that blueprint can you be more in where you are the one in control of your health, not just following along? Literally break it down. You've done this before. You've done this visit before. There is a pattern to it. Very, very little of what your upcoming visit is going to be something so different and so brand new that you haven't done before that it's going to throw you for a loop and you won't know, how to prioritize your health or prioritize your self-care or prioritize your mental health. All of that is just, it's thoughts, it's things that we tell ourselves. Well, this is just how it's always been. Every time I travel to Egypt, this is what happens. Every time family comes to visit me, this is what happens. But if you keep telling yourself that, then guess what happens? That's what happens. So it's just about having a different conversation and being super ahead of what the events. Take some time to break that down for yourselves. Any of you who are in a similar situation, break it down. You know how in Ramadan, I always tell you, look at Ramadan, look at how many outings you have, how many times you have to go out, how many of those outings can you politely decline? They're not that important. How many of them are really important? How many of them will it really make a difference to you to just enjoy the company and enjoy the meal and enjoy everything about the Ramadan festivities? And how many of those are just, you're just going to sort of fulfill a wajib, and so you just go. It's not really important it's not about the people, it's not about the food, you just sort of have to be there. Think of it that way. How can you prioritize yourself? Because now you're in a different mindset, now you're in a different mind frame than you were 6 months ago, or potentially where you were the last time you came home for a visit. And especially, Delia, now that you've proven to yourself, you with visitors at home, which was also potentially a time for you where things used to go completely, used to let go completely, but you didn't. So you've already proven to yourself that there is a pattern there that I've already broken. So if you've done it once, you can do it again.
Thank you. I hope I can. Thank you. I will try. I will keep you posted.
And remember whenever we generally, I'm going to always remind you of this, ladies. When you say I hope or I will try, what does that actually mean?
That it might not be possible.
You're giving yourself options. So if I tell myself, I hope that this works out, I'm going to try. I'm going to try also means I might not try. But when you tell yourself either very, very distinct statements, I will, I must, there is no other option. But I hope and I try, you're opening yourself up to many different variations there. So it all
Yes,
starts with
makes
how you
sense.
all starts with how you speak to yourself.
Dana, I remember when you were traveling, you said that you have like three priorities that you don't change. What are they again? Maybe that will help if I
Yeah,
just put three
yeah.
priorities
So
and try to stick to them.
yeah, because that was such a huge pattern interrupt for me, right? So I figured the three most important things I need to do while I'm away are my workout, non-negotiable, my work, because obviously I was working. I was even though I was in Tokyo, I still had responsibilities towards my clients. And oh my gosh, what was the third? Workout, work. I can't remember the third. I have to go back and re-listen to that session. But it was my workout because I know my work
Okay.
keeps me it keeps me feeling good. It mitigates, potentially balances anything that might happen with food, and which really was not in my control for about 2 months when I was there. So the workout was there to help me physically and emotionally. And then obviously work because it's something I have a responsibility. I couldn't let that go. What was the third one? If any of you remember what I said, I can't remember what the third one was. But yeah, those two.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sandra, go ahead.
Hi.
Hello.
So I enjoyed the program very much. Some of the exercises I was able to do, some not yet.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed, actually, it seems so simple, but I really, really enjoyed being on a fruit diet, fruits only.
Okay.
And actually this changes a lot of things for me because I actually discovered that it's easy to do, like easier than cooking, because I am not really into cooking. So actually being on all fruits all day, or like some vegetables that are raw,
Yeah.
was easier for me than cook
Right.
than to cook more things. And sometimes even when I'm outside, I try like to have more smoothies. Even like outside, I will have orange juice, or I will step into a supermarket and get orange juice or anything that is already mixed
Okay.
without any sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that was big for me, and it changed, my energy and how I wake up in the morning, and energy level throughout the day and with the girls and everything. The other thing that I actually enjoyed, like creating the sanctuary and like my corner, creating the ideal day. It changes a lot, so I can't just call it an ideal day. So it keeps on changing, but when I go back to it, I go back to it gently, and I don't have the hours written, so it's just like main ideas that I want to have or do throughout the day. That's it. Which is more relaxing for me, less stressful. And the other thing that I enjoyed was paying attention to the female energy in general. I think that's the whole thing about this program in general, and that's something that I was not aware of. So I'm enjoying that. Reading, of course, And the relationship, I like the one about listening and gatekeeper. I was not able to do the talking to myself in the mirror and these kind of things. But even if I didn't do them, I was aware of where I needed more work.
Right.
And in general, I'm okay with being more quiet in a bigger setting, like bigger groups, because this is not something that I'm comfortable with. So I'm now okay being quiet if I don't have anything to say. If I do, I'll try to say something. It's like mainly it's like accepting myself basically with the good and not so good, or the work in progress. I realized actually even maybe I don't know, but like as a result, I realized I'm really like very tense most of the time. Even I have lately I've been having like lots of headaches and because of the tension. So at least I'm trying to be gentle with myself, and I even went back to the exercises, the what was it called, the workout that we did, the somatic workout. So I went back to that. So I have something to go back to. So that's what I like.
Mm. So what would you say, which part of you do you feel out of all of these, shifts, which part of you do you feel most proud to have nurtured or rediscovered over the course of the program?
I like it's just basically accepting myself. I did not rediscover something completely new. It's just accepting. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I like the effect of decluttering as well.
Yes.
And I even added to myself decluttering the car, because sometimes it's just so messy.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially
And
with
it does
kids.
have effect on, yes, especially with kids.
Yeah. Beautiful. Anybody would like to comment on Sandra's share?
Hi, Dana. Hi, Sandra. Hi, ladies. I would like to comment on the last point, the last bit about whether she discovered, something new, because I think I'm also like Sandra. I cannot say that I have actually discovered, something new, but I have learned in this, in this whole just, program to be more self-appreciative. And it's a very good feeling. It's very positive, that I appreciate. I mean, the things that I used to criticize myself for, I discovered, or maybe that's a discovery, that no, it's actually good. Okay, which goes back again to Sandra's point about and Dalia as well, like listening better to your body and trusting yourself more. So I think overall I have confidence, in my gut feeling, okay, or in my thoughts. Like, if I feel that I want to rest now, then it doesn't mean that I'm inefficient or I'm a person who doesn't deliver. Okay, I started to hate even the term to deliver. Okay, so yeah, that would be my my comment.
So were you really surprised by that change?
Yes, actually, I am surprised that I thought when this program started, when this group started, okay, that I understood, what it's about, that I understood, okay, oh yes, tuning in with feminine energy. But 6 months, from that time, I can now say, no, my understanding at the start is not at all where I am standing now.
How so?
Yeah, how so? I think it's also a shift in some of my ideas and standpoints about efficiency, and about success, and about being there for everyone. And I thought that this is naturally comes with being a woman, but this program has taught me no. Okay. I mean, it's good, of course, to be there for your family, to be there for your friends. Okay. But I always went out of my way, to please other people and to impress other people. Okay. And I was always in a hurry. I want to do this, finish this, contact this, solve the problem of that. And I realized, oh, so this is actually what the masculine energy, which we were like conditioned for. Oh, and I've learned to be more standstill, and be more appreciative of the times that I want to stand still, because I've had moments before when I really needed to chill, but then I'd be harsh on myself, thinking, no, you should not get up, do it, okay, be there, be on top of things. So, but now my critical voice is just fading, bit by bit, and I like that. So that is something I have discovered, joining this program, about, I mean, the true, the true essence or meaning of, of being feminine, or of feminine energy.
Who else's critical voice is fading? I love that phrase. I love how you phrase that. The critical voice is fading.
Yeah, me too, Amira. Sorry,
Hi,
guys.
Tina.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, good.
So me too, my critical voice is fading. I'm really working on that very, very hard, because I know myself that I've been always very hard on myself. I criticize myself, uh, in a lot of things. Like, I'm always trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be the perfect mom, trying to be the perfect friend, perfect daughter, everything. So, and then it becomes very hard, and you keep on like smashing and banging your head against the wall and thinking, oh my God, I'm not doing a good job. And technically you are, but you just need to, you know, not be as critical. And again, I can't specify a specific module for myself, but looking back at the last 6 months, I feel like I've changed. I've grown in my own skin, trying to appreciate me, and trying to understand the why behind certain things happening, whether it's because of me or because of the people surrounding you, and trying to be accepting. That's very important. I started realizing that the minute I accept things, things started shifting. So, for example, I'm just going to give you a very simple example, is that there's a person in my life, and she's a family that I don't really appreciate. And she does, and I think it's mutual, you know? But there is no tension between us. But the fact that I don't appreciate is I don't even appreciate talking to her. I don't appreciate her messages. I don't appreciate, period.
Right.
So the minute I started accepting the fact that, okay, Dina, face it, you don't like her or you don't appreciate her, but there's certain things that, you can do and you can't do. And when she texts or calls or whatever, just do the bare minimum and things are going to be okay. So the minute I started doing that, I started feeling a little bit more ease, previously I was like, oh my God, I see the name, I see the number. It's like, now I have to go through the call. So things like that. And this is like, you guys also, with every person in this group, or every person that was actually attending, had an impact, whether big or small, on me, by kind words, reaching out, whatever. I mean, our last session about joy was basically a great reminder to me that, you know what, I'm not by myself. Like, why am I isolating myself? You know, why do I feel it's my problem, it's my struggle, where there are so many people out there that are actually maybe similar or in certain ways, but everyone is struggling in their own way, but we still can all support each other to be the best we can. And that's my take out of this program, honestly. Meeting those wonderful ladies, even if it's virtual, you feel it because it's genuine. The relationship is there because we're bonding around something that we're all looking for. We're all looking for that feminine part of ourselves, that part that needs nourishing and needs love, that we will get just by ourselves and by connecting with the right people.
That's a beautiful realization, Dina. And it sort of shows you to what extent there could have been, like without you feeling it, or maybe it wasn't obvious in the moment, how much inner work was happening for you.
Yeah.
And then you just came to
Yeah.
that realization at a certain point. Like
Yeah.
certain weeks, certain exercises, certain sessions, certain Zoom calls sort of plant a little seed, and then suddenly 3 months later you realize what that was.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true.
And Dana, if I may add, I think one of the best things for me in this program have been the readings.
Yeah.
Okay. And because I want to tie, it ties in with something with what Dina is saying now, which is the book club discussions. I mean, the book club encounters and discussions. Okay. For me, they were one of the maybe the top highlights, of that program. And I think the impact of it made me realize more, or be more self-conscious of the power of the group, the power of community.
Yes.
The intellectual nourishment, like you need, it's like this, you need food for your soul. Okay. And discussing, the books we read was this nourishment, or a nutrient, like a psychological nutrient.
Yeah.
Okay. I love this part. And also the reading was, for me, was going back to reading for pleasure, which is something I have stopped, doing, because of my work. Also reading without the sharp analytical
Yes.
lens, I'm reading just to enjoy, and reading to reflect and to make connections. So this was my top highlight, which was the book club discussions and readings. After that is the detox. Okay, the detox is more than just food, or more just being healthy in your body, but it's also very rewarding. I think emotionally is very rewarding, because I connected to feminine energy, because I'm doing something for me, for Amira, not to make people proud of Amira, not to make people happy around Amira. No, just for me. So I love that part. And then finally, the movement. So thank you.
So what would you say then? What are you most proud of out of all of those things you mentioned? What's the one you're most proud to have either reclaimed, you didn't necessarily discover, but reclaimed, or maybe nurtured something that you had ignored previously? What part of you do you feel most proud to have done that?
Oh, this is a bit tough here. Part I'm most proud of, I don't know, Dana. It's a lot of things. I cannot really pinpoint on one thing.
Okay.
But maybe, I don't know. Maybe actually it's the detox, and and the food. Okay, and it's because I think I have managed to steer my whole household around, like my family. you
Okay.
know, that
Yeah.
were very critical at the beginning, okay, that were doubtful about what are you doing, what can you really survive on this cannot be healthy, cannot be good for you,
Yeah.
okay. But wow, now, you know, like, you should see them, you know, when for like they buy something off the shelf and they look in I told them, look in the ingredients. Okay, no, look at how many ingredients. Okay, so basically, if it's more than 3 or 4, then it's not. So, and I think this is very feminine. I
Yes.
mean, it's part of, you know, looking after, you know, everyone, you know, for everyone to be happy and joyful. So I think I'm very proud of that. Yes, the most.
And you should be. I love that. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Especially when families get on board.
Yes.
Beautiful. Did anybody else have that experience? I actually have an interesting little story about this. I mean, obviously, you guys know I've been doing this for years, and my family just really didn't have a choice when I first started. So it was like, this is just how we're going to eat now. And, you know, they were younger, so it was a lot easier. But, you know, when my kids went through their teenage years, it was very challenging. So my daughters now are fine, but my son is a teenager, and it's constant, right? Constant arguments. So finally, when he started his summer break, part of me practicing or getting into my feminine energy was, like Rania was saying, like, I'm not going to force it. You know, I was like, you know what? He is my son. And so I have a certain amount of, you know, technically I have authority over him, but I'm not going to force it anymore. I'm done forcing things on anybody anymore. And that was part of my own inner work of just letting things go. So I said, you know what? I can't even make my clients do, you know, I can give them the advice, I can give them the plan, I can hold the space, but can I actually make anyone eat this way? No, they do it because they want to. They do it because they believe in it. They do it because they might be really unwell and this is sort of their last resort. So I said, right, this is how I'm going to approach this with my family as well. I'm going to stop the forcing. I'm going to just let it all go. And so right after he finished school, I started making food. I started making like these like casseroles with like creamy pasta with cream cheese and pasta and chicken, and I'd make it again the next day, and then I make salmon with pasta, and he was just like, Mom, is everything okay? I was like, yeah, I'm just making food that nobody can complain about anymore, you know? And I explained, I told him, you know, I can't make you do this. I can't force you. I've already explained everything there is about health until, you know, you're blue in the face. There's nothing more that I could possibly say. And he was kind of quiet like this, and then he went, yeah, but Mom, you know, no, I actually don't want I don't want my refrigerator. What did he say? I don't want my refrigerator to look like my friend's refrigerator. He's like, yeah, I go to their house and like I look at their refrigerator, like with all the cereals and the milk and the bread and the junk and everything. He's like, but actually, no, I don't want that. Can we try and like go back to the healthy again? So I don't know if it was reverse psychology or what, but with me letting go, and I truly was letting go, it went around full circle. So now he's like, how can we find an in between? So now he wants to be involved in the meal planning. But it's crazy. As soon as you let go, truly let go and don't attach to an outcome, you actually end up getting what you want. And that's feminine energy. That's the power of the feminine energy. Who
I
would
would like to say something as well.
Yes.
So I for now our family, we have smoothie for breakfast.
Yeah.
This is something that we do around the actually dining table. We sit together and we have the smoothie for breakfast. And sometimes when the girls in the middle of the day and they're really hot, they ask for another one. So the smoothie, they love it, and the fruit, again, that's something that they like. The pasta, however, we don't have it at home. It's not something that I do, or I don't even have a bag of pasta anymore.
Yep.
But as soon as they're out, they do want the pasta.
Yes.
But I let it go. Like it's okay. Like I mean,
Yes.
once in a while, you know, like when they're out at their grandma's or something, and this is what everyone is offering. And when at birthdays they have like the fried nuggets and things like that. It's like this is what they're being offered. So you know, I don't want to be like you know, like forcing it. But at home, they do realize it's different, and I don't need to say anything because they understand that outside it's okay, but like I mean, because it's occasionally, but at our house, our fridge looks different, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so powerful, and it's such a blessing to be able to do this for our families, despite their initial objections, despite their initial mocking. It does pay off in the end. It really does. Who would like to go next? Marianne.
I think it was Nermeen before.
Oh, was it Nirmeen
Oh.
first? Sorry, I couldn't see who was up there first.
But Marianne can go. I'm fine.
Okay.
I love listening
Okay.
to I always love listening to Marianne first.
Oh, really? Oh my
Yes,
God.
very inspiring.
No, I'm not the expert. It's Dana. Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, going back to your three questions, the first question for me, so the past 6 months, what I loved most was the relationships, because I had this. I think it was Dina who said she has a family member who she's not so pleased to talk to and to speak to and so on. I have a similar case. It's my sister-in-law, and we have these things with relationships, and I mean, I have to accept her because she's the wife of my brother. So more or less, I went the way that Dina went, that I speak to her to a minimum. So how are you? How are you doing? How are the kids? And so on. And if she starts saying, yeah, when are you coming? Or we want to invite you or so, then I try to say, yeah, of course, inshallah. When I come, we can plan it. So I also try to keep my boundaries, because I know, I mean, in the past I had overcame, I don't know how you would say it. I did not put strict boundaries, and many times I jumped over them, and at the end it was not good for me. So especially with her, I have these fixed boundaries. I know what to say and what not to say. What I also learned, I mean, in relationships is the mindful listening. I think you said, you know, usually in a group, and so everyone wants to jump in and say their thing, and or let's say in a family reunion. So I put myself back a bit, and I started to listen more mindfully. The other model, which I am also on or in, is spirituality.
Yeah.
I think I have mentioned that a few times, that well, we don't know how long we are going to live.
Yes.
So when the time comes and we have to go, let's say, to heaven, I hope so, then it's a good time to get to know God more.
Yes.
I mean, not only, yeah, good, of course, I read the Bible, I have the daily readings and so, but I want to know more things about God, because at the end, we will be his guests. What I also took from these movies is the reading and the movement. I have a pile of books at home, which I thought, yeah, sometime when I'm retired, I will have time for them, but I started my retirement and I did not have time. So your program has helped to love reading again. I mean, at the very beginning, it was very stressful. So let's say I have put myself under stress because I wanted to finish the first books in time.
Right.
And then afterwards, I thought, no, it's not good. I will take my pace at it. And if I finish it, okay. If I don't finish it, it's also okay. I can still read them later.
Yep. Not forced.
And yep. And lastly, the movement. I'm a lazy person. I take the car for everything. The supermarket at the place where I live is a 10 minutes walk, but I prefer to go by car. And now I have started going on foot. Of course, I will take the car if we have heavy things to carry.
Right.
So apart from that, the movement. And now that the summer has come, it encourages me more to go out and walk. Yeah, sorry.
Would you say then that any of these changes, did some of them feel more gradual or more sudden for you?
More gradual.
Okay, good.
I mean, if we come to question 2, you have the science of evidence, science or evidence. I feel myself more balanced emotionally and physically. I mean, it did not come from month 1. Maybe it started month 3, 4.
Right.
March, April. I also joined a fitness center. Actually, with an idea. So back in my mind, I started the fitness center sometime after we started with the fruit detox.
Okay.
And then I thought, good, I have the fitness center, I have the fruits, and I will continue like that until mid-July, because then I have a doctor's appointment, so a yearly checkup, so I have the blood analysis and so, and I want to find for myself what my CRP value is doing, as well as minerals. In the smoothie I do in the evening, I put curcuma slices in it. So I hope to get the CRP value down.
We're definitely going to be looking forward to hearing from you about that, for sure.
Well, maybe you can do a follow-up session in July.
I don't know that I
Or in
will be
September.
traveling in July, but I mean, you can always reach out to me. You can always,
Yeah,
of course. But yeah, this is amazing. So again, would the you from month 1 recognize you now?
Well, as I said, I feel more energized.
Yeah.
More fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? I have also started mindfulness. Watching the flowers. So walking. So I look at the flowers. I try to feel them, smell them if possible. Here in nature. In the mountains, you hear all possible sounds. Birds, and you have animals, the cows, the people walking. It opens. I mean, for me, it opens my spiritual window more.
For sure.
The question 3, if you're mentioning at the start with month 1, well, month 1 was a stress time for me. I wanted to finish the reading. I wanted to make all the exercises, and then I thought, yeah, it's not good. It will not end well. So I fitted things in my pace and time.
So you moved from your masculine into your feminine.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think after the summer vacation or so, I got willing. I want to go back to go through the modules again, and then read them with more time and more consciously,
Mm-hmm.
and also, of course, without a rush.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I have missed something in them, and yeah, so it's good. And of course, I will continue my reading. I have also bought the other books which you have suggested at the very beginning.
Yes.
I plan to read them one after the other, and yeah, it brings me to the question: if you would do the book club again,
Yeah. This
I
is
mean, will you stick to the books you have already read, or will you go and take others?
Well, I mean, obviously, if I run a new round with new members, it'll be the books that we have completed. If I do two different groups, so you guys would be a group that would be continuing. We would probably finish the books that we didn't get to on the rest of the list, definitely. And maybe add some more because I think we would still need to add some more. I don't think there would be enough. But no, they definitely wouldn't. If we were to continue as a group, the ladies who've done the beta program and we continue on no, obviously the books would be different. The list would be the same for the new group.
For the new books, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it for me. And I wanted to thank you again and for the wonderful ladies for the discussions, help, support.
You're so welcome, Marianne. Who has something to say about Marianne's share? Who also feels that they've definitely shifted from feel. Rania says, love the idea of continue. Okay. Yeah. It feels like, Marianne, you were like all of us, very much connected to your masculine. And
Yes, at the beginning.
yeah, even if you weren't aware what that was, that urge, right, to finish things and be productive and hit the deadline and get it all done. That is completely the masculine. And then by letting go of that, you just naturally then will fall into the opposite of that energy, which is to take your time to tap into what feels right for you, even if it doesn't get done exactly on time, but it's going to get done in the time that's right for you. And in that way, it's going to serve you best. Yes. Beautiful. Who would like to go next? Oh, also to your point, Marianne, of going back to the modules, yes, 100%, because the modules are based on primary foods, which we are experiencing and living every single day of our lives. Like I said at the beginning of the call, whether you have to focus on this primary food because there's an issue coming up in it on a day-to-day basis, or you decide to focus on it because it's part of a structured program, you're going to have to give it the attention it needs, regardless. So you can always go back to the modules as that primary food presents itself as needing your attention. Or you can do it in the structured way where let me go through the program in order and address each primary food in order.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who would like to go next?
I can if
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Marianne. So it's, I love the first part about the boundaries. That's it's very inspiring. I at the beginning of the program, I was completely clueless. So I just, to be very open, like we finished the detox from September to December. Like I was in a good place then. And then when we actually started the beta program, I really didn't know what was happening. I was with regards to why I'm actually in and what's the intended objective of it. But I think that and I think this was a residual from the earlier program of the detox and that we just finished, is that I felt that I'm okay to go with the flow. And I'm happy to receive things, and I think I was okay with that. So I wasn't that tense that I expected to be, because like Marianne just mentioned, that with the books and the reading and the exercises, knowing me, I would have been very tense of things to do. But I felt that if I go with the flow, things will just appear somehow of what am I doing and why am I doing that. My takeaways were basically just being present and being more grounded. Like was my major takeaways from that, is that to be present and to be more grounded, to be aware, and which comes from clarity. I think it's clarity that makes me grounded and presence. I don't know. It's just that those three have been my major takeaways from that program. The feminine energy part is mind-blowing, I feel that the result of it was that I am more present and I'm more grounded and I'm more clear, because I'm more in touch with my feminine energy. I'm taking things slow, and if I'm tired, I'm going to rest. And multitasking is not is overrated. I'm not supposed to multitask. Although, like all the interviews that I have done when I was much younger, that was very important to say that you can multitask. But it's not, I can feel it's fading away. On the contrary, I'd like to do one thing, and the one thing I'm going to give it attention. And if I'm sitting with someone, I will give attention to the person that's in front of me, and and try and stop my mind from racing into several hundred things happening. The thing that I'm still struggling with is relationships. I have my clarity and connection. I have my clarity and connection book, and I go with it every now and then. I like to read from it again and again, beside whatever other book we're having on the list. But still, the section about relationships, still I am incapable to relate to it now. But I think I will get to that very soon. I feel that it's coming, but it's not there. It's not there yet.
When you say you can't relate to it yet, is that when in terms of a romantic relationship, or in terms of relationships in general?
Actually, relationships in general. It's just relationships in general. I'm repainting this whole area. Okay. I'm not. So when I started reading it in the book, I felt I'm not ready to digest that. it felt like as if it's a big task, or that I'm not digesting it fully yet.
It's there when you need it, when the
Yes.
time is right. Yep.
Yeah. But the most part I enjoyed is definitely our meetings and the takeaways from and the energy from the ladies. I'm not sure, someone had just mentioned that. I think it's Amira, or I can't recall, but it's really the energy and the sharing and the to be vulnerable. It's actually was really something that personally helped me to push through those 6 months. And the books were really spot on, and they really open our mind into the things that one did not tackle before. Like Siddhartha for me was really an amazing book, and it's something that is I haven't ever before read into Buddhism, or if this was it, or this whole the journey in this book was really very very interesting. I have accomplished really a lot from this program, because I was someone that was racing through life, and I was doing zillion things at the same time, and I was very accomplished in anything that I do, and I always arrive before anyone and do things prior to any and I felt that this always I'm accomplishing in that. And I could say that now I would say that I'm completely the opposite, and I'm in a much better place, and I'm I have joy. I could say that I have accomplished joy into this in this transformation, and I'm okay in this in that spot.
How does that feel to witness this change in yourself?
I'm speechless, because you know what I've been through, and to reach that, it's literally a year since April, where I had my own trauma. So I can't really believe that I'm here now and I reached that point, because in this dark place, no, I imagine myself in a totally different in a totally different place. So it's definitely God has a big part. Spirituality had a big part in me getting here, but the journey that I started with you, Dana, in September, and the things that my mind opened to, I haven't had this since since my whole life. I'm 55. So, but it really helped me through a very hard time, where I could easily have lost myself, and I would have lost my identity, and I would have I'm not sure, but I was in a really bad situation. But now I'm more in touch with myself. I'm more in touch with what I want and what I don't want, more than what I want, actually, and boundaries, and the things that hurt me. I could easily say no. I learned to say no. That's new as well. And even with the closest people to my heart, like my son or my mother or my sister, or I learned to do that I can do this and I cannot do this. And as well, I'm learning, trying more into the relationships part, that I can also be able to connect much deeper, because right now it's just like there is more of boundaries, because I'm trying to still protect myself. So the coming journey is that I can actually get closer again, and I can have build this relationship part. But no, I'm the answer to this question, and I have never thought in April 2024 that now in now in June 2025 I will be in that spot. That's for me is a miracle.
Wow. That's very, very powerful, Nermeen.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
It is very powerful, especially especially that I actually lost everything. So for someone who has lost everything that they have built in their life, this is not supposed that I'm not supposed to be feeling like this now, but I'm really thankful. I'm not saying that just to sound heroic or to sound that I've done something big, but I'm really thankful.
No, I'm going to stop right there. You have done something big. Take ownership of it. The fact that you are powerful and you have turned your life around. What you said is true, and we have examples all around us of people who have gone through trauma, and 1 year later, they're still in the middle of the trauma, deep in their trauma, playing victim. You chose not to be a victim. And this is do not belittle this ever. This is a huge deal. What you have accomplished is so powerful. And you get to talk about it and you get to boast about it, especially in this group. Because what you have accomplished is something that so few people can actually manage to do. So powerful, Nermeen. Don't lose sight of how powerful you are in doing this.
Thank you. That means a lot. And I can joke about this because everyone around me very much interested into Dana's program, because they've seen me coming out of that. So they want a piece of this magic. So it's like it's sometimes it's funny, like tell us what you do there, so that you've transformed this way. So thank you for those words. It means a lot, and I feel the energy from the whole group as well. And I think every one of us have a journey, and this makes us also be less judgmental. Like we said in one of our groups, is that because everyone really is passing through one thing or another, and even if we see people who are aggressive, it's because they have a story. People who are fearful is because they have a story. So one need to be more empathetic and sympathetic, because people go through difficult times, and we just see the surface. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this today. Thank you. Thank all of you. Really, truly. Anybody want to comment on Nermeen's share?
Well, I just want to say it's a very it's a powerful statement.
Yes.
It's a powerful message.
Yes.
Actually, for every one of us who went through a trauma, and we can learn from each other. Yeah, thank you, Nermeen, for sharing. I think it was not easy for you, but congratulations.
Thank you, Marianne.
I wish you the best of luck, and stay strong. But say no a lot if need be. And take care of yourself.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you.
I'd like to add, Nermin, by saying that it only takes a strong woman to do what you did, whatever it was, that the trauma that you were facing, but to be able to turn things around and work it for your own benefit and your well-being. Because I did that myself, and I know what you're talking about. And you're in a point in your life where there's a lot of despair, and you don't know where you want to start. You don't know what you want to do because of the trauma that you've been through. And then all of a sudden, Dana appears in your life somehow, which is like a message from God. Is like, okay, this is what you need to do. And you took the matters in your hand and you were strong enough to pull it through. So hats off to you, and definitely continue what you're doing as long as it's bringing you joy, as long as it's putting you in the right path and the right direction where you want to end up. Yeah, like Dana said, you have to pat yourself on the shoulder because you did it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And the issue of purpose or objective, because that's another thing that's also, especially in all our lives, we've been asked, like, what's your purpose? What's your objective? I just realized now that it's not something that is definite. It changes by time. And I felt for me that for you to be open to opportunities and to be less objective oriented, actually things come your way better. And that is more actually in line and aligned with what you are, rather than we just set ourselves that we need to be there at this time and do this and have this house or this money or this whatever or this job or this career. It just, you have to, when I started to be open more and to be aligned more with myself and to love myself more, things come your way in ways that God has prepared for you much better than what you have planned. But thank you for all your kind words.
Funny enough that you're saying this, Nermeen. Yesterday I was in a yoga class, and then my yoga instructor, she came to me at the end of the class, and she's like, "This class was for you." I was like, "Why was it for me?" She's like, "You are struggling to find a purpose, and your purpose right now in life is to take care of you. That's your purpose." And that's what you need to realize, and that you need to be open and stop searching, and things are going to happen the way they're supposed to happen at the time that it's supposed to happen. So it aligns with what you're saying exactly, and it makes total sense.
Amazing. That's amazing. Yes. I like that. The purpose is you. Yes. That's a purpose in itself.
That's the purpose in itself. Yes, it is. Beautiful, ladies. Any final shares? Anybody want to share with us? If you haven't shared yet. I personally feel that the energy of this conversation is very complete. I don't want to add anything else to it. So with that, let's end today, and with these very, very powerful statements and definitely food for thought. We will meet once more, ladies, next week, inshallah, to discuss I Saw Ramallah. Have a wonderful rest of your evening or rest of your day with all of these powerful, powerful shifts and thoughts still fresh in your mind. See you next week, ladies.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.